First up, John Bachman with this Newsmax Now update. The British government is raising their country's terror threat level to severe for the first time since 2011. British Prime Minister David Cameron also said on Friday that he would introduce new laws to combat extremism, pledging to seize passports to fight what he describes as a militant extremist threat more dangerous than any previously seen. We'll have more on that coming up. Also, at the White House, they are in full-on damage control mode. The White House daily press briefing just started. We'll have more a bit later on that as well. But we did hear the president has amended his travel plans to return to the White House tonight after a fundraiser. That damage control is needed after the president admitted his administration does not have a real strategy yet on how to deal with ISIS militants in Syria.
I think what I've seen in some of the news reports suggests that folks are getting a little further ahead of where we're at than we currently are. And I think that's not just my assessment, but the assessment of our military as well.
Well, so far, the U.S. military has carried out over 100 airstrikes in Iraq, and today, White House Press Secretary Josh Earnest has already said the commander-in-chief was actually addressing the administration's position on military attacks in Syria, not the larger regional strategy to combat ISIS. Also, Secretary of State John Kerry will travel to the region to try and build a coalition to help combat Islamic State militants. Former CIA Director General Michael Hayden is responding to the president's comments. Hayden says ISIS is a real threat to America.
I think we can now say unarguably a regional threat. It has global ambitions, and now is beginning to get the personnel and the means to strike at the West and the United States globally.
Well, Hayden appearing today on Newsmax TV. Also, federal investigators are now trying to figure out how and why one community in Minnesota has spawned at least two radicalized militants. Douglas McCain, who died fighting for ISIS last weekend, and one of his best friends and classmate, Troy Castinger, died fighting for al-Shabaab, a terror group located in Somalia back in 2009. Both went to the same high school. Terrorist groups are known for targeting young men in Minneapolis, a city with a large Somali population. There are also new reports that a third radicalized militant from that same community could be out there fighting right now, and people who live there say there might be more. New York Congressman Peter King was with us today as well, talking about the growing problem of American-born jihadis and the hometown of McCain and Castinger.
Minneapolis, Minnesota is a hotbed for Islamic radicalism and terrorism, and they send a number of men over to Somalia to fight. Now you have a number of men going to Syria, and that is going on across the country.
A little bit earlier this week, the State Department said they are working to identify and prevent Americans from traveling abroad to fight with Islamic radicals and intercept them when they try to return. And a new federal lawsuit alleges that police in Ferguson and St. Louis County used excessive force and falsely arrested innocent bystanders. This as law enforcement attempted to stop those violent protests in the community. More news ahead in 30 minutes. Now back to Midday.